Extraction 2 is here to show you how action movies are meant to be done. Well, apart from the first Extraction and Mission Impossible and John Wick, but you get the idea. Extraction 2 stars Chris Hemsworth, and Sam Hargrave is in the director's chair for this one. Now, Extraction is a decent action movie. I really like Extraction. I think it's a good, gritty action film that has its uh, big highlights and has a few little things here and there. Um, but it's mostly just a reminder of like what 80s action movies can be. And the film itself just does a really good job of entertaining you for the 2 hour runtime. And they pulled off one of the biggest one shots you'll ever see, maybe besides 1917, but that whole film is just like one big take. And like you go to these movies, a bit like with Mission Impossible, you go see the studs. Sam Hargrave, a previous stud coordinator on films like Atomic Blonde, the MCU, and with a bit of share in Star Wars, I believe. I can't really remember a lot of stuff he did there, but these films are just pure action film fun. For anyone who's a huge action movie fan, you know, if you want a good action movie, watch Extraction and Extraction 2. Extraction 2 is a really good sequel. It's in some ways a lot better than the first, and the kind of story that they pick lends itself to action. So the basic plot is after surviving a near death experience, um, Tyler Rake, played by Chris Hemsworth, is sent out on this mission to save this kind of drug lord's family from their like abuser. I can't remember. The abuser's like a brother of the guy. Anyways, the story is all about extracting them from point A to point B, and yeah. So it just okay. Before we talk about the kind of plot in detail, but I'm gonna point out the fact that this film has a lot more acting prowess than the first film does. Mostly because the budget's been increased, and it's yeah. Okay, so the film begins with Tyler Rake in a hospital. If you have seen the first film, you know what happened to him, and it's there to say he was almost dead, but he's not quite dead yet, and he's saved in the nick of time by his group of friends and foes. Well, not foes, but you get the idea. So the film then shows him in hospital, and he's asked about would you consider retiring, of which he thinks about it. And fashion, you could say, convenient plot idea. The film brings in Idris Elba to send him on this mission, and the film is as best with the action. There's this amazing 20-minute scene in a jail that's just all one big shot, and you can just tell how much rehearsal they would have need to have done for that. It is awesome, and just using like a little bit amount of CGI just to enhance the action a bit more and to hopefully not have anyone get hurt. So the film as a whole, as an action movie, works really well, and Chris Hemsworth is playing this kind of this kind of stoic guy. Obviously has emotion, and we find out about what happened to him in a past life that made him the way he is today, which is actually quite intriguing, but it's like not anything that'll be too thought provoking. It's just serviceable for this type of action movie. It's like Rambo essentially. You're going for the action, you're going for the stunts, um, and yet he he gets down to business quite early in the film, and the film's at its best in action, and then yeah, the film doesn't have many flaws. The only one I can think of is that it's a bit too long. That some scenes don't really need to be here, but like besides that, this is just a very well made action movie that would be at so far at the top 10 for my list. Like as an action movie, this is pretty much as good as you get. Obviously, John Wick Chapter 4 and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 outbeat it just a bit, but like that's not much. That's not much at all. I'd say Chris Hemsworth could do like these kind of action roles. He's one of the better ones out of the MCU to do more mature roles. And this film is more mature as a film. It's not pandered to like teens or stuff. It's pandered more to adults. That's kind of the Extraction series itself, kind of in a nutshell. They're gritty, they're violent, but oh, when the action happens, it's so good. And then the fact that this can get a theatrical release, but Indiana Jones did, it's an actual disgrace. Um, the film has like half the budget. I'm not sure if they even have 100 million. I don't know what the budget of the film is, but it's way less than Indiana Jones and Dawn of Destiny. Yet it looks more as if they had used the money better here than they did with Indiana Jones. You can check out my review about that to see what I thought of Indiana Jones. But the film is just a really fun time. If you like a good action throwback, you'll like this film. I'd say it's an 8 out of 10. It is a great action movie. It's a great action movie. And yeah, Chris Hemsworth gives it his all. And there's some twists and stuff. But, stuff you'll like if you're an action fanatic like I am. Um, yeah, I'd highly recommend the film. I think it's a great action movie. 8 out of 10. That's my review of Extraction done. And yeah, see you in the next video.